Good day everyone, I'm Rodel G. Japan.
And I am Heresy Repetitio.
Today we're going to present our repetitio about heresy. So there's an heresy that claims that Jesus was born human and became God later in his life. And this group of people is called the adoptionism, who claims that Jesus, initially purely human being, was later adopted or anointed by God as his son, thereby receiving divinity at a specific point in his life, which often associated with his baptism.
And for our thesis, Jesus is not an adopted Son of God, but the only eternal Son of God, a divine who incarnated as human.
To support this thesis statement, first is from Saint Irenaeus. Saint Irenaeus emphasized the incarnation, the divine act of God becoming man, demonstrating God's love for humanity and how humanity is reconciled to God.
The second one is from St. Augustine. St. Augustine also asserts that in the incarnation, Jesus did not acquire divinity, but rather took on human nature while remaining fully divine.
Thirdly is from St. Thomas Aquinas. St. Thomas Aquinas also claims that in the incarnation, the divine word, the Logos, took on human nature while retaining his divine nature. For our illustrative examples, first, when Jesus became a person incarnated, it was like a king disguising himself as a commoner to live among his people, to understand them better and to show his love for them, ultimately reuniting them with their ruler.
Second, think of Jesus' incarnation, like a brilliant scientist temporarily stepping on the shoes of an ordinary person to experience everyday problems. They don't lose their scientific genius, but they use their knowledge to connect with and help others on an earthly or human level.
Third is, if Jesus being fully divine in the first place, he cannot undergo a change from the divine state to a divine one.
For our team insight, we have realized that Jesus is not simply an adopted Son of God, chosen at some point in his life, but rather the only eternal Son of God, willingly took on human form. This means that he has always been divine and chose to become human to bridge the gap between God and humanity. Jesus embodies both his divine and human nature, serving as a way or bridge that connects to us the divine while remaining fully divine himself.
To conclude our thesis statement, the idea of adoptionism should indeed be considered heretical, for Jesus Christ is not an adopted Son of God who became divine later in his life. Instead, he is the eternal divine Son of God from the very beginning, who incarnated in human nature. And to apply this, as we form ourselves to become future priests, part of our role is to correct these heretical ideas, not only to defend the church, but also to preserve the truth. And that will be all. Thank you.